Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are live in downtown Bakersfield or back in the lab in downtown. It's another episode of I Love You, Say It Back. It's the podcast. I'm your host, Vic D. That is our producer, Eric. How you doing?
What's good?
What time is it right now? We literally started this at
111.
111. That's when we officially started it.
And we didn't do that on purpose. Some people will, but we didn't.
Nope. We got Jacob, who... I came in and they're literally working on this table, working on some like logos, some imaging stuff. Just there's a reason why this place is called. But I'm kidding. The Creative Haven. Creativity happens here.
There's a reason why this place is called the casting.
Yeah, the casting couch. What's that?
And you're a new interviewer.
And you're sitting right in the chair. How am I doing?
Yeah, casting podcast table.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Glad you guys are with us. It is Tuesday, May 7th, which is just turned May 7th.
Wow.
7 de Mayo. Anything special going on 7 de Mayo? No, just kind of a boring day. All right, loaded show today. We're going to give you a little bit of our weekend recap. I had a great weekend. Like, in a weird way, it was one of those, and Eric talks about this a lot, and I'm very skeptical on it, but I think I just have a different take on it. But I think he's right as far as something, but I've never looked at it the way he does. I view it through something else, and I'll get into those details. Very interesting. We're gonna get into, one conversation, and some of the feedback that I get from this podcast is always, we have a female listener base, right? We actually crunched some numbers for a potential client down the road. They were asking me about like, okay, what's your target demographic? And I pulled up the numbers. We're 83% female.
Really?
Yeah, that's Instagram, and I don't have the exact numbers for the podcast, but I know via Instagram and all that stuff, 83%. So when my boys ask me, they're like, hey, why are you talking about this, and the other about females? Like, you just got to know who you're talking to. Yeah. I can't pretend like we're on the golf course. But yeah, so that's interesting, and that's why. So we're gonna talk. One of the conversations they always say we love getting a look inside of the male, the opposite sex's head. What are they thinking? There's a situation, we see it from our POV, and they see it from their POV. Let's get inside that head and kind of get an idea. So I've been wanting to do this one because the conversation that always comes up are like, what are some? We can all talk turn-ons. I like a nice big booty. I like this, I like that. But what are some non-sexual turn-ons? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are things that you are attracted to that really do it for you, but that are non-sexual, right? We'll talk about that. We'll have a couple lists of things for that. What do moms actually want for Mother's Day? I feel like the correct answer is always like, I want to be with my kids. It's just like, we'll get into what moms really want, and I actually did a thing on my Instagram, put one of those question boxes, and I love the fact that it's anonymous and people can be honest about it. And boy, do you guys take advantage of that. I'll read you some of the answers that we've gotten on there. Another edition of Men Ain't Shit. You thought Mercury Retrograde was bad? I don't even know if I pronounced that right. Mercury Retrograde. There's another planet that is in retrograde, and we'll talk about that. So Men Ain't Shit. Got the Shut the Fuck Up of the Week. Happens every year at this time. We'll touch on the Drake beef. The Met Gala was tonight, and who the hell knows what goes on. I don't know anything about the Met Gala other than the dresses, so we'll get into that. Chuck E. Cheese has a season pass, which I think is hilarious. I have an iPhone update. Sex scenes are down 40% since the year 2000 in movies. Sex scenes are down 40%. And we'll get into that because I love that. And I'll explain why coming up. But before we do, I want to remind you, thank our sponsors. All right, big love at Rev Nutrition. Go check them out. Invest in yourself. Invest in your sleep. Invest in being the best you that you can get. Get a good workout. Get a little fat burner. Get a little this. Get a little that. One of our favorite products. The podcast is literally fueled by. You can find it there at Define. And you just tried the purple flavor for the first time.
That's my favorite.
Was it really?
Great. Honestly, it's weird. Grape is my notorious favorite drink. Kool-Aid, grape Kool-Aid is my favorite.
Yep.
I love grape tasting energy drinks.
Yep. Yeah, I do see you in here with some like grape.
I'll try different stuff, but grape is like it's weird. It's my go-to. Like I can't go wrong with grape flavored drinks.
Yeah. So I thought it's always been one of my top like 2 or 3. So we just hadn't had it in a while, and it just hit a little diffy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it definitely did.
And so yeah, get you some at Rev Nutrition. Also invest in, this is what I was going back to, invest in your sleep, invest in yourself, be the best version of you that you could be. Head over to the Mattress Space Furniture Outlet. My buddy C's is going to take care of you. Best prices in town, best mattress, recliners, memory foam. They got the kind that you can recline with a control. You're like, I almost feel like Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Buck Owens Boulevard. Go check them out. Google them, and they'll take care of you. Big love. I wanted to start with this because I just had an incredible weekend. You know, we want to give you a little weekend recap. Just give you an update on life in general. Oh, we actually have some kind of interesting and exciting stuff that we're going to be doing together. Not this weekend, not Mother's Day weekend, but the weekend after.
2 weeks away.
Doing something I don't think either of us have ever done.
Yeah.
So
I think we're both excited for because we love like doing new stuff.
Yeah, it's just
and like it's just
it was one of my New Year's resolutions. Just like fuck it, like yes, let's do it.
And I feel like it's in our realm of things.
Yeah, we're not foreign. It's not foreign stuff to us. It's just we've never been in this circle of it. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited.
Bro, it's crazy. Are we talking about right now? You're saying we're gonna get into it?
Fuck it, let's do it right now.
Okay.
There's no rules, no parents here,
bro. It's almost like I think another calling of like the stuff you do.
Okay, so
like I love the position I'm being asked to do is me. The position is like you.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
So what we're talking about, what we're referring to is, we can say it now because we just locked down the contracts. It's pretty much like signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah.
We're gonna be. So I'm gonna be doing some. We have like this local MMA. Like
not even mad at it.
Yeah, MMA like promotional company.
It's a Bakersfield. Can I say the name?
Yeah.
I mean, we're promoting it. Bakersfield Combat Sports.
That's
event
what it is. Yeah.
At the rodeo arena at the Kern County Fairgrounds.
Yeah. So it's cool because they started it and then they sold out their first event. It was like 1,000 people, which is huge. And then they moved it to a little bit bigger and they sold out 1,500. So now that event got so big that they're like, yo, we need to go to an even bigger venue. We're talking over 3,000 people, which is double that size. And they needed someone to do ring announcing. I'm talking about like the Bruce Buffer, like, and now the main event of the evening, like type shit. Like, bro, I'm gonna be doing that. And my first time ever doing anything, like, you know, like I've emceed events, weddings, whatever it is, we've done it. But I've never done anything like this, which is exciting and nerve wracking. But it's also like, really, anything that you give me that with a mic, with you tell me what to do, like I'm gonna put my own sauce, my own flavor on it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be doing that for the first time. And Eric, tell them what you're gonna be doing.
So I'm actually gonna be one of the fight commentators,
which is insane.
But here's the cool thing: I know the feelings of walking out to a fight. I know the feelings of being in a ring and fighting. I know the feelings of training for a fight. All the emotions, wear and tear, and like anxieties or anxiousness or adrenaline that goes into it. So I'm excited, bro. I don't really get nervous for anything. I just kind of like this lie to myself, like I can do this. Like no matter what it is, I can do it. So I'm gonna go have fun, bro. It's gonna be like I'm watching a fight with my friends.
Exactly, and just talking about it the same way.
Yeah.
Now we'll say, here's a quick question: yes or no? Do you think you'll be more nervous when you're commentating or when you're walking out for a fight?
Probably the commentating.
Yeah, no doubt. There's no doubt.
And here's the reason why I'm gonna say this, and why I love this freaking thing. I remember I trained myself to not be nervous for fights. I don't know, like I would do this thing where I would lie to myself, not lie to myself. I would tell myself that it's not happening almost, and by the time I get done warming up and I'm walking to the ring. And I'm in a face-off, you know, when they bring it, there's no time to be nervous for me because I let me get to that moment without like overthinking anything. And a lot of it was always confidence. I was training with like pro fighters and top amateurs, so I always felt like good enough to beat the person across me, but I never overlooked them. But there wasn't a lot of nervousness in that. With speaking like this, it's the first time in that way. But it's more so, I think there's naturally going to be this overthought of, wait, am I doing this right? It's
Yeah.
almost like the first
Yeah.
episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, did I get this right?
Yeah,
Did
you
I,
just
like,
kind of just got to do it
just
sometimes.
do
You just
it.
got to throw in. And it's interesting because it's almost, I always think like, it's almost like the Patrick Mahomes. There's a great, one of my favorite, literally my favorite quotes or scenarios described was from Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. They said that they attached, you know how they put all these things on him to like get their heartbeat, heart rate, and all these things. They said whenever he's out there on the field in the Super Bowl, like they're down and they're coming back and they need a touchdown or whatever it is, like his heartbeat goes way down. He's way calmer.
Yeah.
When his heartbeat goes up is when he's on the sidelines and he has no control. I liken it to that. It's like when you know what you're doing, even though it might be the harder thing for a lot of people, it's like, this is what I do. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I was built for. When you're doing something foreign or you have no control over the situation, that's when you get nervous. So exciting. That's going to be on the 18th. So this is going to drop on Thursday. So if you guys want to go, get tickets. I mean, come out and show love. We'll be out there. So that's going to be, I'm excited that we're doing that. Not only that we're doing that for the first time, but we're doing it kind of together for the first time. Like I'm going to be up there. You're going to be down there.
This is going to be cool, bro. I'm excited.
So let's get into this because again, as I talked about it at the start of the podcast, I think it's very important whenever you are attracted or whatever we're attracted to. What everybody knows, like big booty. For women, it could be like tall, dark, handsome. Well, all the physical things that could be like sexual, you know. But I love having the conversation of like non-sexual turn-ons, whether it's a characteristic, whether it's a trait, whether it's a physical thing that doesn't necessarily have to be sexual. I love having those. And I put together a list of what I think are non-sexual turn-ons. Because I think people are always interested, like, we kind of beat down the drums of, you know, everything sexualized, you know, music videos. You talk about everything on social media. It's like, you know, from our point of view, it's like, oh, you see like women's bodies and them exposing their butts and their boobs and showing all these things. So it's like, I know what I want you to see from the female point of view, but what are guys attracted to outside of that? Because, I mean, look, I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, like a big butt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I say, no need to sit here and like front about it. But what is it beyond that, right? And for me, I'm gonna start with them. We can go 1-1.
Okay.
So my number one thing and one of the top things that I like or am attracted to, notice first, I love a beautiful smile, teeth, smile, like a happy, like, and I'm not just talking about the smile that translates into the eyes. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm gonna try it and I'm gonna butcher it, but like the whole thing or like this, like, I mean, I don't know. This might look way weird, but like that's a smile. I don't like that.
Yeah,
like something that feels like,
like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to do it.
And I know what you're talking about.
Like a real genuine smile, big turn on for me. Big beautiful smile, white teeth too.
I have like, so these are non-sexual turn-ons, right?
Non-sexual turn-ons.
I feel I just, you know what one of them are. I'm gonna go to that one, but I have to use this one because I think they say this is actually the most intimate thing you can do, and I just think it is. And if it's someone that you already kind of have, because everything's based off, you know, initial attraction.
Absolutely.
Eye contact, bro, is like if someone could hold like eye contact in like this very like genuine way, like say like across the bar, like even that, like you look at someone, you're like, oh, she's pretty, but she's looking back at you, but every once in a while you catch it.
Yeah,
that's so simple.
Oh, it's
like,
so cute too.
Yeah, and you're like, I know she's like, but those are the people you probably never end up talking to, but that's also the people you might be like, hey, what's up? Or like if you're whatever it is, it could be a classroom, bro. It could be when you're a kid in school, all the way to like adult life right now. I feel like eye contact has always been my thing, and I feel like it's something that I look at and notice more than anything when I like ever met or talked to like a female.
So eye contact. Oh, especially if she has pretty eyes too.
Yeah.
Jeez,
oh man.
I'm
yeah, and the
see
smile.
right
The smile,
right?
I agree with you on smile. It's a 1A, 1B for me on the smile and the eyes.
Yeah, I think we'll agree on most of these too. So I'll go with my second one, and I think like genuine kindness, like a kind soul.
Yeah.
Like you go to a restaurant and they're very kind to the waiter, or they're considerate. Even if you get like bad service, even if things are like they spill something, or there's a delay, or there's slow service, or whatever it might, they forgot something and it's taken. And I'm the type of person who I will kind of lash out sometimes. I'll be like, this is bullshit, kind of. But somebody could be like, hey, be like more understanding. Like, I think genuine kindness is volunteer work. Bro, are you kidding me? I'm like, oh, yeah, that was bad, but I'm sorry.
You sounded like 80 years old when you did that.
Volunteer work, kindness, genuine, like consideration, huge turn on, bro. And it's got to be genuine. It's not like where it's like, I'm going to do this because I know, this looks, however, like genuine kindness.
Yeah.
That's a big one for me.
My next one, I think that's one of the things that make me or allow you to connect with the person more in a peer space. You're like, oh, the hard part is too, like, that might attract you to someone, but a lot of those people are fake with their fake kindness.
And exactly.
It sucks.
And I think we have a thing where you can see, like, I see right through like fake shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like an innate instinct. Like, I don't feel like I miss too much. And you could see when it's fake, when it's forced, when it's not really you and you just want to do it for a specific reason that's not other than genuine kindness, you see right through it.
Yeah, 100%. By the way, the house I'm going to be at, it's the most expensive house in the U.S. I think this is that $250 million mansion that they have like Lamborghinis, everything parked there.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Can you cut me a piece of land? Like,
bro, you've seen this. It was big when they sold it. So anyway, all right, let's go on. I just caught it right now. They sent me the address.
Anything else?
No. Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. Hair, messy bun, ponytail.
So that's one that we're talking about. And you were gonna get to it, or I was gonna get. We were gonna come back around. Girls, let me just say this. I'm gonna look into the camera. Ladies, we all know that you hate the whole messy hair aesthetic. You do the messy bun as like, I'm busy, I don't have time, I don't know this, I hate it, I'm busy, like I'm a mess. Just know that the messy bun is absolutely so sexy. Oh yeah. There's 3 of us in here right now, 3 men who were just talking about it. We're like, yeah, that messy bun, it's the sexiest thing. That does things. It's weird. It's like the less time you put into it, the better it looks. Yeah. Oh, give it all to me, mama.
And it's so funny because I'll voice this if I ever I'm like, oh, I love like the ponytail, the messy hair thing. And I'm like, I don't like it. They're like that. Yeah. The girls hate it, but it's the most comfort space for them. Mm-hmm. But they don't actually really like. It's almost like there's this insecurity, like, wait, this is me, fully dressed down.
Yeah, this is me giving up, for the day or for whatever.
Yeah, like what we talked about at the Drake line.
Hair tied, chilling with no makeup on. That's when you're the prettiest. I hope that you don't take it wrong. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, he nailed it. He absolutely nailed it.
That's why he's the GOAT right now.
Yeah. Ooh. That's kind of a hot stove topic right now.
Yeah, but he's not the GOAT, but he's one of the GOATs in certain areas for sure.
So yeah, ladies, the messy bun, don't downplay it. Just embrace it. We love it. And I'm speaking for 95% of men. And I know that you probably hate it because you're like, oh, I feel so ugly. Just know the more or the less work that goes into that messy bun, the better it looks. The better it looks. My next one is going to be, so I agree. Messy bun, good hair, but then you go the opposite, hair that just, really nice curly hair. I love that too. But here's a trait that I really love that I'm really attracted to. Is a good budgeter, a good planner. Mm-hmm. And Eric, you'll agree with me in the sense that me and you are both more on the spontaneous side. Yeah. Where you're just kind of I want to do this and I'm gonna go do it. I'll figure out the details later. Right? Yeah. Right? I think we're both more on that side than the other. And there's something with your brain, left side, right side, whatever it is. But when someone can give you, and this is all to an extent, because I don't like to have everything planned, But when someone can look at a situation and be like, did you think about this? Did you think about this? Did you budget this? Because it's more of the opposite of what I am. So I think we're attracted to our opposites. You fulfill this need that I have because I can be really stupid about this. And when you could take into consideration, hey, the money, the time, the transportation, me and you just get up and we're like, I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We talked about it last episode. I'll sleep on the road if I need to.
Yeah.
You know? But when someone could really just kind of map everything out, and then you look at it and you're like, damn, I really could have saved, a lot of money by doing it your way, like planner, budgeter. I love that. That's an attractive thing for me because I don't think you could have two crazy people, just up and go. You create a mess. So I think ultimately this comes down to like a person who could balance you out is really attractive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Planner, budgeter. And sometimes we go a little off the rails. So it's one of those things where it's like, you have to have someone who is going to kind of get you back get the train back on the tracks. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Anything else that you wanted to add?
I'm gonna be honest. Like that, what you just said is true. I feel like it's not deep on my end, but my favorite, honestly, one of my biggest ones. I think like if someone has. They don't even have to have siblings or nephews, nieces, but it could be other people's kids or something.
Oh, that's a good one. I didn't write that one down.
If they love kids and I see them like genuinely like wanting to play with them or like, hey, here's this, or like I remember one girl I was talking to, she gave my nephew, she brought she had a box of books, and she's like, hey, Alex, like pick some out for yourself, and I thought it was like the nicest I don't want to say use the word cute, but I thought it was like the coolest thing. Like when for someone I was talking to and like I was attracted to, it added like those points. I'm like, oh, I'm more attracted to this person.
Oh, so you bring up a great point because I could not agree with that one more. Someone who's kind of on top of like all of the bro, I'm really bad with birthdays and like being on top of like, oh, this person's thing is coming up or this and that.
Yeah.
And like someone's like, okay, don't forget that this person has a birthday on, blah, blah, blah day. Or don't forget to get this person a gift or, like whatever. Bro, that goes back to the planning thing, being organized and on top of it. So I agree with you. I love that one.
Yeah.
Good with kids, caring. I love that.
Do you have more?
I have like just quick little ones that we don't need.
Little ones. I do got one more.
Okay. I think reading. Like a genuine reader, not like and these are very rare. There's not a lot of them. Like there's a lot of people who pretend to be readers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there's not.
It sounds cool.
Yeah, because it sounds like it was the book club thing. Like, oh, we're going to do
I'm
book
not a
club.
reader,
And
but
it's like, we're just having margaritas and posting a video on Instagram that says that we all have the same book. So reading, like a true reader, I think someone who's got a real sense of humor. I think that's really attractive.
Yeah, like personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of girls that don't.
Yep. Again, we can all fake this. Yeah. You can only fake it for so long.
You know. I'll let me throw this in there with that one. There's a lot of girls that are beautiful and sexy and attractive. They can throw a dress on, go out, and show their body and their figure. A lot of those girls are like so used to men come at them, but they don't have. They're quiet. They're almost like they're not. There's nothing there.
There's no substance.
There we go.
Yeah.
And like, I love the regular girl. I love like the 7.5 or the 8 that turns into a 10 because like they're
the messy
pretty,
bun.
The messy bun. You go out, but you're yourself. You're gonna go on an empty dance floor and dance by yourself. The reading the book thing is something sexy. I don't like reading books, but if someone's doing it, I'm like, cool. She can read the book for us. You know what
exactly. Hey, just give me the cliff notes on that.
Yeah.
And then the last one, I think, kind of goes with the hair thing. Like, I think a good sense of fashion, like the mom jeans, like like a cute little sense of fashion.
Yeah.
Because anybody, like you said, anybody could put on that little tight dress, show off that ass. But like, what? Go beyond that. You know what I'm saying? And dressing for the occasion is something that. Pick the right outfit for the occasion.
Yeah.
You're going bowling, don't wear a dress. Don't be way over the your outfit is gonna be fire and it's gonna look great on you. But does it fit the occasion? Sometimes it's too much for the occasion. Hey, why are you wearing that? We're going bowling. We're going this, But I think being able to fit the occasion with the outfit, and sometimes the proper outfit is a messy hair, sweats. That's a chill night we're staying in and ordering pizza.
Yeah.
But she can also get dressed for the night out at a gala, you know, at a something, you know, and it's just got to be appropriate for the occasion. I love that.
Nope, I love that too. I remember, you obviously you've probably had this. So you see someone that's fashionable, and they literally know how to dress. Like, because maybe if they go out, they don't want to be sexy for the club, but then you get invited to a family event with them. But they know how to stay like beautifully dressed up, but they're not like disrespecting you or your family. And like and then it could be a little thing at the park. You know how to dress. Those are the perfect combinations of, and that's a really hidden one too.
Yeah. So you absolutely right. You nailed it. You can get dressed for the club and look great, but you can't turn it off. It's like, now we're going to a family function. Why are you wearing that same dress?
Yeah.
Why are you have your tits out? Like my nephew's 11 and he's rock hard right now.
I think
that's his first boner.
Yeah, that's the first time he jerked it in the bathroom too. You know, like he's like, wait, what is that?
You see how quick he was?
Yeah.
That was in and out. That wasn't a pee, baby. He was done.
He looked up on Google, what are fun bags?
Dressing for the occasion, underrated.
It's
underrated. And another, I think this could be a whole nother topic in itself. Vacation compatibility. Allow me to elaborate.
Oh my
Vacation compatibility. I don't even have to explain it to you, Eric.
I fell backwards in my seat.
Yeah, he went. Vacation compatibility. Let me explain this. And because we are going to be talking about this on a separate episode, because this is a big enough. There's two types of people, maybe on vacation, right? There's a people who, let's say you take a 2-week vacation and you need to be doing something every single step of every single day, every hour is planned because you want to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
And believe me, there is no wrong answer. Nobody's wrong, nobody's right. It's personality
it's how
types.
you enjoy it. Yeah.
Exactly. And then there's the people who just, you're like, I'm on vacation. I want to sleep. And then when I wake up, whenever the hell I want, I'm going to go to the pool. I'm going to lounge. I'm going to drink margaritas. I'm going to get a tan. And then I'm going to go get some great food. And then guess what? I'm probably going to want to take a nap after that. And that's how I enjoy it. While the other person is going to be sitting there like, all right, we got to go to bed at 3:30 because we got to go hit this hike. Or we have to go visit the Empire State Building. We have a tour set up for this. It's like vacation compatibility.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that I need someone to be on my schedule.
Yeah.
It's more so like, hey, if you understand that we are different, let's find things that we can do together. And then if I want to go do this and I want to do, and just people who are okay with it, like, go ahead, babe.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You go do that. That's what you want to do. And you know what? I don't want to go sit by the pool and get sunburned and go drink and get hot.
I want to explore.
But that's how they enjoy it. And I think understanding each other there is such a beautiful thing.
I think a dope balance is, it's weird. I think you can always find the compatibility if you really care about someone. And if they check off those vacation boxes. For example, I'm not a planner. I just go. I'll go with a white tee and some shorts. If a girl's like, hey, let's go here. And they might be the planner. So you plan it out and find out what we both want to do. Plan it out. I'll say yes to everything. I'll follow you, but I'm down to have no plans as well.
Yeah.
So I'm literally on both ends. I don't care how it is. I just want to have a good time. But they have to they have to want to swim, or they have to love water. They have to love like the beach and like go. I'm talking like not the beach. I'm talking let's go on a boat and we could jump off the boat and swim to the bottom of the ocean type of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, compatibility. Compatibility.
So,
by the way, I can't see your feet from here.
by the way, the feet are covered. That's a little inside joke in the podcast.
Yeah.
So I will say this. And I forgot my question now, so we'll move on. But is there anything else you wanted to add to this topic? Because I think it's a great little insight of like, hey, tell us. And it just goes back to what I said earlier. Girls know what guys like. They like the big booty. They like boobs. They like a pretty face. They like all that stuff. And you know that. You know, they like the pedicure, the manicure, all that. Yeah. Like, you know that. We don't have to sit here and tell you what guys like. Yeah. But beyond that, what the real stuff. Because
those things you just said, those things literally only go so far.
Exactly. And because you could find it in you, and you can find it in someone else, and you can find it in so many other people. But what qualities are you?
Yeah, and I hate to say this, and I'm not saying like girls like with those traits have no personality, aren't fun.
I am.
But oh Jesus, what I'm saying is a lot of those girls that don't have that, they're the girls that guys love to just take to the bar or the club or out on a trip, and because again we talked about this last podcast, female privilege. There are a lot of they're allowed to take advantage of those things.
Yeah.
But it doesn't ever translate mostly to a relationship usually.
Yeah.
It's just them out.
Okay. Now let's put a bow on this. What are your turnoffs?
The opposites of no personality.
Yeah.
You don't like. You're not a family. Have you ever like been around somewhere like they don't really talk to their cousins, or like they kind of sit on the couch and they're on their phone. They're not at the table.
Engaging.
They're not taking shots with the or friends. Like that is really. It almost seems closed off. Which again, those things are fine if you're not that interactive person.
Yeah.
Turn off for me. I want like to be in the vibe. I want like
I think it goes a long way when a person is kind of introverted, like, and you know that you're like, I don't expect this, but when they go out of their way to kind of be like, you know what, I'm here with your family, like I want to embrace your family. I want to like, you don't be the person. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you are invited to a function of your significant other, I don't care at what stage. If you're at the stage enough to where you're being invited and they invite you to a shot or to have, a beer, a drink, that makes them feel comfortable with you. That means, they're like, oh, they want to be here. They want to enjoy it. And sometimes you turn down a drink. You're like, oh, I don't want to take their drink. Take it. They're offering from their heart and they want to. It's almost like, do you accept us kind of thing? Like, let's have a good time tonight kind of thing. So, because the opposite goes a long way too. It's like, oh yeah, they weren't trying to interact or anything like that.
And it was crazy. I'll throw this out real quick. My first couple of true relationships were like women that later on in high school, I'm like, they didn't really they weren't like really talkative with my family. Like they talked to them. Don't get me wrong. There's a relationship there, but they weren't. They were still the person that would walk to the room and go hang out in the room while everyone's chilling, you know, or like go inside while everyone's in the backyard. It's like,
again, it kind of speaks a lot.
Yeah.
For me, it's a turnoff is like someone who's not motivated, like not like I that's a big turnoff. Like not driven, not motivated, especially because the way I think we are. We were just talking about it. You showed me that video, and you're like, this is what's next. Oh, I did what's next. And it's not like, there it is, I'm done. It's now the question is, what's next again? And it's kind of a vicious circle. And, you kind of, so I like people who are driven, who are always looking to improve in some way, shape, or form. So if you're like, just, like, I have no interest in improving in anything. This is what I am and this is what it is. And that's it. Big turn off. Yeah. Also cigarettes.
Oh God, that's gone. Zero. You could be, I mean, like, you could have been the baddest girl in the club. I'm like, yo, look, everyone could be like, look at her.
And
if she walked out to the patio and pulls a cigarette out, 100% of the time, game over. Like, I've lost 100%. And I feel bad saying this because there's a lot of girls that, I hate this thing. I only smoke cigarettes when I'm drunk. I'm like, ugh. Yeah. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I see you drink every night. Exactly. What do you mean? Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Jeez. So... that is 100% the worst thing ever, bro. And that's, I don't even think that sounds bad, but I just don't like saying it.
Cigarettes.
That, and then, oh man, I just had one in my head because I feel like you said this could be a long conversation.
Yeah.
What was it? I want to say this. I don't think I'm going to get to it. Long hair or short hair, though?
With what?
Women.
Oh, long hair.
Really? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, short hair goes a long way because I don't mind like even the short hair
bald?
like right here. Bald, I can't do. Like, I'm sorry. Like
I feel like I just grabbed a dude's head.
Hey, cancel me the fuck as much as you want. I can't do. Who was it? The chick that was Amber Rose. Like I never got the bald. Like everyone's like, damn, she is a bad when she was dating Kanye and doing. It's like, what the fuck are y'all seeing? Bro, what? Like I don't care how good that was.
How, bro? It would ruin it.
Yeah, she got a big butt. She got a nice body and all these things. I can't do it, bro. I can't like
just grip.
So short hair, like that's what I consider like short hair, or even the stage where it's like growing out and it's still like Jake's length or something
like a nice
like
little taper fade.
Yeah, I can't do that. Can't do that. And normally I would say it's got to be longer than mine, but my shit is long as hell right now. So that's not the rule, but. Yeah, short hair can't do it. Yeah. Can't do it like boy cut hair. And I know you got one on the tip of your tongue.
All right, so what were we talking about before the last one you just brought up? What was the one before that? Do we know?
Cigarettes.
Yeah, it was cigarettes, but there was something right before that. Like I think we said
Lazy, unmotivated.
Oh, perfect. Okay, thank you, bro. Yes. This is why we work. The most sexiest thing to me, whether it goes anywhere or not, an ambitious woman.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of goes with the opposite of lazy thing. But if a girl's ambitious and talking ideas with me, like, hey, like I've always wanted to do this. I think this is what I'm gonna do. Like, or starts doing it, or I see them working on it, or like they throw their ideas at me, or they send me something, or like, hey, this is what I've been working on. I want to take the risk. You know what? I connect with that so much because I feel like in the creative space, like we are as entrepreneurs or whatever it is, it shows appreciation for someone willing to go that route. You know, and you can support it. It adds to like that connection of something you could build with someone.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, it goes back to the whole, like, I think the massive success of, remember Neo's Miss Independent? That's all he talks about. Is like, she got her own thing, Miss Independent. Which, by the way, Neo's Tiny Desk. Oh, jeez.
You see me post that on my story, right?
Bro. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I was going through the comments, and it was like, everyone was just like, you forget how many bops this dude had in his heyday.
Oh, he was one of the greatest. We talked about this one time. Someone said that he was one of the most talented people in the industry and never fully used all of his talent.
Me, motherfucker. That was me. I've been making this argument since I was like 8. I was like, yeah, Neo, great.
Yeah.
And my beepy.
And I remember I turned on that was my favorite thing. My sexy love.
Come on.
Bro.
All right. If we start getting into that, this podcast is never going to end.
Game over, yeah.
Never get. We're going to do a segment called
Neo.
Vic Talks Neo for 12 hours. And I'm going to break down every time. Like the way girls are about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Quick story. I used to wait outside of Walmart when it was 24 hours. And did I ever tell you this story? This is hilarious. So Neo dropped an album, and I would wait outside of Walmart to buy the CD at midnight. I have pictures of it and everything.
Yeah.
What was it, 24-hour Walmart, and I would have pictures of outside the Walmart like this in the cold and everything. And they're like, it's open, right? And I was like, I know, but it's kind of like my own little thing. Well, get this. One year he dropped an album, and it just so happened to be the drop of like one of the Call of Duty games. So there was a long old line in this electronics section, bro. And I was like, everybody's here for the Neo album. I was like, is this the line for the Neo album? And they're like, no, we're here for the Call of Duty game. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, hi, where do you guys have the Neo album? It's dropping today. And they didn't even have it out. And I went to the back, and I literally went and found a copy of the album.
They grab it, they're like, this one's from last year.
Yeah.
Loaded dressed No
I think that's Neo. Oh, yeah, that's Neo.
There it is.
Yeah. Neo? Shut the fuck up.
One left.
Quit being rude. But yeah, so non-sexual turn-ons, couple turn-offs there. Any other turn-offs that I feel like turn-offs could be one also. Like, I think just going back to what you were saying opposite is not understanding how to dress for the occasion.
Oh, yeah.
Overdressing for the family parties and shit. Like, bro, that's wild.
I think turn off for me. I love like a girl being fully open and vulnerable and real and like authentically herself. But if I just meet you and you're like burping like next to my face, burping is one of the worst things for me. I'm down for you to fart by me. Do not burp near my face.
Well, you don't have to worry about that because girls don't do that.
Oh, okay.
Girls don't
Well,
fart.
I mean, fart by me. I'd rather you fart near me than burp near me. Like, it is what it is, bro. I'm not lying. Swear to God, bro.
Where you can smell the
I don't. Most girls'
lunch.
farts don't even smell. So like, but
Yeah, they don't 'cause they don't happen.
a burp definitely comes out, and you know what the hell was in their mouth right before that. No Diddy.
Were you hanging out with Jacob Flores? All right, like, we're moving on.
No. Oh no! Jesus Christ.
What did you have for lunch? Did you have Jake? All right, moving on.
We'll put a bow on that.
Yeah, that's a nice little way to wrap that up. So over the weekend, it was a great weekend. One of the things that I did was, I do these bridal shows and bridal events. And we had one this weekend at a beautiful venue. It's called Park Place in Shafter. Shout out. But The reason I bring it up is because I had a great conversation with one of the vendors who I've been doing these for a while now. So you become familiar and friends with some of the people that do them. And one of the ladies came up to me. She usually brings her husband and her kid out to the shows. And I was basically asking her, I was like, they weren't here for this one. So I was like, hey, where's the husband? Where's the kids? You know, like, and she's like, oh, you know what? He's out of town. He's doing this. And I said, and jokingly, I was like, oh, she said he'd been out of town for like the last like 2-3 weekends. And I said, look, honestly, as long as he's not gone next weekend, right? And she's like, she stops and she's like, wait, what's next weekend? And I was like, it's Mother's Day, sweetheart. How could you forget? And she like laughed and she's like, oh, she's like, if anything, that's a weekend I want him gone. And she said, you know what? Take the damn kid too. I don't want, she's like, give me a weekend by myself. And I was like, honestly, like that is hilarious. It's true. It's real. It's authentic.
Yeah.
And I love, so I went on Instagram and I basically asked, you know, going back to our audience, mainly it's 83% women. I think that's an insane number.
Yeah.
So I was like, tell me what you guys really want for Mother's Day. I'm going to read some of these. And I think you'll notice a trend. And I love these because with these, I never put names to them, right? You never put like, oh, this person said this.
Yeah.
So it allows people to be more open and honest about their feelings. So I want to read a couple of them. So one said, for the kids to shut the fuck up for 5 seconds. And I was like, that's a great shut the fuck up of the week.
I've seen that.
Someone said sleep, some fucking peace and quiet. Someone said for Mother's Day, I want a day without my kids, a day without the reason why I'm a mother. One of the nicer ones that we got, like this was one of the nicest ones that we got. Watch. It wasn't even that nice. It was just kind of like a day to ourselves, a thoughtful gift, a hug, an iced coffee, a simple, yummy dinner. Okay. That was one of the nice ones. Someone else to do the thinking, planning, and chores for one whole day. A day to herself, guilt-free. Someone said a spa day, a getaway with the kids, and something relaxing. Someone said the husband can stay, but just send away the kid. I was like, and they said like, you put a little smirk, the horny smirk, and I was like, hey, I get it. You have your needs. So the whole theme of this, this one's funny. She said, for no one to say mom, mama, mommy, mother, just leave me the hell alone. And I think the theme of this was basically saying like, I hope that women don't feel like they can't be honest about like, I feel like sometimes they're guilted into like, hey, what would you like for Mother's Day?
Yeah.
What would you want? I just want to be with my kids. I just want the love and care of my kids. Ladies, moms, so many of you are doing such an incredible job with your kids. You are with your kids. You are responsible for your kids. You feed these kids. You wash their clothes. You clean their dishes. You watch out for them, your husband. You're great moms. Just because you admit that you want a little time to yourself, don't feel guilty about that. Don't feel like if I don't say that I want to be with my kids, that I'm a bad mom. That was my whole thing of this whole segment. I wanted to give people the freedom, or women the freedom, to express what they really want. And what they really want is not to be responsible for the everyday things. You know, just get away from the reality of being a mom for your Mother's Day. Hey, have this day, have a drink, get some sleep, have a spa day, have someone else. I love the one where she said, do the planning. Like, I don't want to think this day. I don't want to plan dinner. I don't want all these things. And I really think it's a beautiful thing. And I really wanted to bring that to light because I feel like you shouldn't feel guilty about asking for these things.
Yeah.
Mother's Day or not, you're allowed to you're still a human being. You take a day, you take a couple days, whatever it is, doesn't mean you're a bad mom. It just means you're a human and you have your own needs as well. I don't know if you wanted to add on to that, but that was the whole point of this whole thing. It was like, hey, be anonymous. Be honest about what you really want for Mother's Day.
Yeah. I don't necessarily, bro, like, I think we both expressed this, but I love my mom to death, bro. So whatever. I remember when I first became single, like my goal was let me do more stuff with my mom. The first thing I did after I almost died and like started, going through the daily.
By the way, it sounds crazy that you say that, but like, it's a real thing.
Yeah. After that, I like, obviously I'm single. I have a house for myself. There's no special woman in my life outside of my mom and say like my sisters. But cool thing, you'll see me post it when it gets closer. But I kind of planned this. My mom stayed with me in the hospital, curled in one of those thin blankets.
Yeah,
in a
those
seat,
shitty
bro,
blankets.
in the chair, like until they pulled the ventilator out. Like that was like the moment where I was like, this is the love of a mother.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll say this openly right here. My dad left. Like my dad did not stay in the room, and he tried to stay the next day because it got pointed out you didn't stay, but mom.
Oh,
did.
you got called out.
Yeah, and he tried to stay the next day. And just to kind of like feel that like guilt, I guess. And he ended up sneezing and coughing. I was like, Dad, just go. Just get out of it. You try. Like,
Yeah.
And I think I didn't have the ventilator out yet. And I probably wrote on a piece of paper like, it's okay, Dad. Just get the fuck out of here.
You're good, man.
Yeah, no.
You don't have to fake it. You know?
But what I'm getting to is that I wanted to show my mom how much like she's cared for and loved, and we appreciate her. So I remember like, hey mom, what place anywhere in the US would you really want to like visit? And I remember it was such an odd choice, but she's like, New Orleans. Like I heard there's so much history there. I'd love to see like the old houses and this and that. And I told her to pick a couple places, and she said, she picks Texas, Austin, Texas. That's where some of her cousins are at, some of her family. A week before Mother's Day or 2 weeks before Mother's Day, I'm not sure. I have the video. It's on my Instagram. But I surprised her with tickets. We're flying out on Mother's Day to New Orleans. So we flew out on Mother's Day to New Orleans, me and my mom. Keep in mind, you've met my mom, right?
Yeah.
My mom,
briefly,
day one, bro. My mom has cartilage or bone to bone at this time. She has a full knee replacement on one knee. Bone to bone. Walked 10 miles first day in New Orleans, bro. We get back to the hotel. She's like, I'm not going back out there. I said, cool, thanks, mom. Bye. Bourbon Street, bro.
I'm gonna go look at titties.
Partied, yeah. So, but
why do you have all those beads, Eric?
Yeah, what are those things? And why is your shirt off? So. I loved it in New Orleans. Got to spend it with my mom. Also got to spend some dolo stuff with me. Flew to Texas right after that. Got to be with family, bro. Explored there. Best thing I've ever done for my mom, I think, outside of giving her my house.
I think that's you take a lot of pride in being able to provide things that maybe they could have done on their own, but moms are always so selfless where they're like, I can do this, but let me take care of my kids, or they would never be like, I'm gonna put myself first,
Like, and I've never met your mom, right? Have I met your mom?
No, you haven't.
I know, like, you've talked to me about her, but on my end, like, do you have this sense of like you're conscious of it, where you look at your mom and like their lives are literally built around their kids,
dude?
It's so weird to me to look at my mom. My mom's daily is get up, let me make food for my stepdad. She wakes up her grandson for school, and she's been doing this since I was a kid in elementary, bro.
Yeah.
Wake up, hey, do you want some food? Wait, I'm washing your boxer right now. They'll be ready right now. Like whatever it is, bro. My mom has always been there, bro, and it's so crazy to me to think she's dedicated and committed a full life to us.
Yeah, and it's crazy that like a lot of like my mom, because I agree with you, does all that stuff. It's like everything revolves around taking care of your family. Yeah. And my mom has her own like little business, and she does that. She takes care of that. And then I'm like, bro, I'm barely staying afloat, trying to do this thing. Could you imagine if someone said, by the way, here's 2 kids, here's 3 kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Damn, bro, that's insane.
Bro, I'll say this. After my parents got divorced, my mom had us majority of the time. My mom was making $800 a month off disability. We still don't even know. Like, we literally still talk about this, me and my other brothers. We don't know how my mom did it, bro.
Yeah.
$800 a month from disability, and then she gets whatever in food stamps. My mom is feeding us. After high school, it was a spot for all our friends. My mom's feeding our friends. Like, I will say this: we worked to get our own school clothes when we were kids in high school. So
that's a trip,
just dope, bro.
So I wanted to clip this, and you could share as little, and I wanted to clip my part potentially for something for Mother's Day. If your mom was listening to this podcast about a minute or so, something Instagram reel where the minute and a half, if you could tell her like something real quick, like what's something it's important for her to know that you feel or acknowledge or recognize this about her. And I think you've talked about a lot of things.
I feel like I can make it short and sweet. Man, I would. My mom was my best friend, bro. Like, I'm not lying. I'll never forget the day, and I'll tell it because my plan. I think for a future podcast,
Right.
But I'll never forget my first heartbreak. This is like one of my most vivid memories of understanding motherly love. It was the first time I had a heartbreak, bro. I'm not gonna cry right now, but I typically get emotional when I talk about this. I've learned what it was to hurt, to cry, and like be like, dang, like you thought this was like this thing that was, because you're just you're just young. And I'll remember crying, and I told my mom, I was like, dang, mom, this hurts. Like, it just hurts. And she's seen this relationship I had like throughout high school and moving through like to college, and my mom cried, bro, and she hugged me, and she was just like, I just want you to be happy. I don't want you to hurt. And I just, it was weird because it reminded me like almost if like someone like at like a funeral, if someone like died and my mom's comforting me.
Right.
But my mom, it was the first time my mom had comfort, gave me comfort in a real space growing up into being an adult. Because I was an adult at the time. I was like 19. I was like 18, 19. So I was pretty much going into that world, of understanding things more. But I remember my first heartbreak, bro, my mom was the one there for me.
Yeah.
And outside of just that, as always, so my mom's my best friend, bro. I talked about everything. I know she's the one I could go to and talk to with no judgment. My mom's not the type to get involved in anything. So, my best friend, I love her to death. And I literally, most of the things I do, whether people know or not, it's so I can end up having things and more freedom to do things for my mom and with my mom.
Yeah. Some things you just can't put it's hard to find the words.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like I know I'm on the right track, but I wish I could emphasize it even more.
It's just so deeper than any word you could
exactly.
Like, pull up.
So I had some. So like same question over here. If it was like kind of like, because it's funny, and this just goes back to my point. My mom is subscribed to the podcast, so every morning my mom gets up and she does her little exercises. She does her little whatever she does, and my mom speaks Spanish, and so she doesn't, like with as fast as she understands English, she speaks a little English. She gets by. She's not like it's not totally bad. But when it's conversations like this that are, kind of quick, kind of like, moving on, she won't like fully grasp everything that we talk about. But if she were to listen and one little segment, I just want her to know how much I appreciate the fact that she believes in her kids.
Yeah.
Right? How much without understanding what a podcast is. She asks so many questions that I don't think, even when I give her an answer, like she's like, okay, like cool. And like, like maybe I don't grasp it, but I believe in you. I believe in the person. I believe in what God put you here to do. And the belief that she's had when I started in radio, and I told her, I was like, Mom, I'm going to be really good at this. Like, I know what I was put here to do. And whether she understood it or not, she said, you absolutely are. Like, I know that you're going to go out there and you're going to crush it. And it was just seeing me as a little kid being so outgoing and jumping off the walls and like sharing, expressing myself and all this and that. And whether it's golf, whether it's this or the podcast or radio or whatever the hell is in the future, she knows that if I'm committed to something or if I'm into something, she doesn't care if she understands it or not. She gives us that belief that you can absolutely do it and you're going to crush whatever it is that you're doing. And that, I don't know if she understands how much we value that as her kids. And the love that I have for that is something that we talked about with the ugly gray golf shoes. That's the kind of stuff that like makes you emotional. And I if she were to listen to one thing and I could have her understand that I love and appreciate, and this is something I think about every day, it would be that. Thank you for believing in everything. And this goes beyond everything. Like, obviously, like, thank you for the sacrifices that you've made and all that. But I'm talking about like beyond that, I don't think she understands how powerful that is to me and my siblings.
Yeah. That's one that's beautiful, bro. I hope like she
said you're invited over for sopes too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. The biggest thing for me, my mom knows how much I appreciate like her, and so I feel like I've done that through. I'm the bro. If I told you some things about how I am when it comes to keeping my word, and I'm talking like I'll tell you off air. This remind me. But it's some. I'll tell you maybe like 1 or 2, 3 people know about this. And anyway, when I told my mom, "Hey, everyone come to the house." I'm like, "Mom, I always promised you a house as a kid." I used to promise my mom, a nice big Spaniard home. She always loved a Spaniard style home. My home is not a Spaniard style home, but like I was like, this is my first home, and I was like, "Mom." COVID messed up a lot of stuff, housing wise. Everything went up. I was promising you a house. Come here, like 3 days, bro. Over 3 days, everything got moved in. That house is hers. No matter how much like it might be mine, it's hers. It's like it's not mine at all. So yeah, I promised her that. I kept my word on that. And every little like the trip on Mother's Day I told you about, it's always been that thing. You know, I feel like I've emphasized my life enough to be like, I hope she gets that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's almost like I think the common denominator here is like I wish that they understood. I think they know that they're loved. There's no doubt that they know that we love them, but it's like the details that we talk about, I think if they knew, like I think they'd fucking like they'd be amazed. They're like, maybe you don't realize that we realize it. And we do. Yeah, so all the mamas out there, appreciate what you do, and your kids and the people around you, your husbands, they may not always express it. It may not always feel it, but trust me, you're valued. And a lot of you, I can't say all of you guys, but a lot of you guys are doing an amazing job, and you deserve more than just Mother's Day. So don't feel guilty about asking for those spa days or take the kids away. Enjoy you a little. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's cool. Happy Mother's Day.
Hey, a happy Mother's Day to y'all, man. That's gonna be happening on Sunday. So I wanted to give a little update because remember a few weeks ago I was talking about how my iPhone was just done. It was just crushed. It was like it was a wrap. Update on that. Still haven't got an iPhone. I still have the same exact one hanging on by a thread. It doesn't even have a cover anymore. This thing is just, I mean, this thing is one fall from, are you out of your cover too? Are you naked?
I've been since my phone got pickpocketed. We didn't even get into our case, remember?
Yeah. I mean, I still have my case in the truck, but it's just like a thin piece of like, it looks like a flatbread.
It would be. We never got to do our casing, obviously, but
terrible.
Yeah, I was going to give you a run for your money for sure.
Oh, no doubt. So that's just a quick little update on that. I wanted to talk about this because I do think that this is something that as a kid, I always thought like there was a period where I thought it was cool. And then there was a period where I was like, now that I'm an adult, I'm like, what's the point of that? So they did a study and they noticed that sex scenes in movies have gone down over 40% since the year 2000. And I thought it was interesting. I thought it was fascinating. And then I was like, I didn't really get into the research of why, or I just kind of looked at the fact. But I love the fact that they're down. Because do you remember when you were a little kid and you'd go watch a movie with your parents at the theater, and then you're like watching the movie? It could be a comedy, it could be an action movie, and all of a sudden there's a lovemaking scene, and then they're like taking the clothes off, and you're sitting there, you're like 10, and you're like, hey, and then I remember I would look over to my dad or my mom, and I'd be like, look, I'm going to look at you, and I'm going to cover my eyes and my ears. Did you ever do that? No?
No.
Oh, just me? I wanted to prove that I wasn't watching because I knew I wasn't supposed to be watching. No, and it would just make it so hard. It would ruin the whole fucking experience.
But you wouldn't sneak a peek?
I mean, yes, of course. I mean, you're a little kid. It was like, I want to see some nippies.
Yeah, I remember.
But that was awkward. The whole experience was uncomfortable. Nobody wins in that situation.
I hated those situations. It was when we were kids, we'd get like a blanket or pillow thrown in our face, like leave it there. I'm like, or like go to the kitchen, or like what? This is stupid.
Or how about like you memorize?
I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna put the VHS back in there when you guys go to bed. Let's go.
And then or like you memorize. You're like, oh, this movie had a nudie scene, and then when you become like of age, you pop in a DVD. You're like, I remember this movie. And then you're pausing it on that.
Oh, this is what I was missing out on. Nice.
Now I could watch this in the comfort of my own room.
Yeah.
Lock the door.
Oh, bro.
I don't have to cover
so
nobody's eyes.
That's funny.
But yeah, I always thought that the sex scenes in normal movies is an absolute, like, just an awkward situation. I couldn't imagine that as a parent where you're like, okay, I'm going to take my kid to go watch this comedy or this action flick. I just want to enjoy some time with my kid. Boom, out of nowhere, here comes a sex scene.
Yeah.
Well, and then at what age are you like, cover your eyes? And then it's like, okay, in 2 weeks, you turn 12. Am I still going to take, 13, whatever that age may be?
Bro,
then do I tell you no? Do I just leave you alone? Like, what is it? It's just nobody wins.
Yeah. Do you remember the late night HBO Showtime? Like, they wouldn't show.
I didn't have HBO.
But you know what I'm talking about, Jake? That the HBO Showtime, like late night, it's essentially sex without showing like the guy's genitals or the female's genitals.
What was it called?
No, it was
Someone's
like
gonna know what it's called.
Like late night HBO. I don't know, late night HBO exotic. I don't know, whatever.
He said, Naughty America.
Yeah. Whatever. It probably was. I don't know. But
Jake's laughing hard.
You would see head movement. That's it. Like, it would be like a girl on a knee.
Hot.
Yeah, and I remember like we got in trouble one time. We're just like watching it, but we couldn't find the remote to change it. Mom's coming back from like the hallway. Like, what are you guys doing? Fonzo did it.
Everyone's got a story, bro. Everyone's got a story. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Or what did come on? We would get the ads on because we had whatever Spectrum. It's been whatever iteration of Spectrum was back then. We've always had that.
With Girls Gone Wild, remember the
Girls Gone Wild ads always came on like at 11.
Yeah, you start seeing
like I
the
didn't know
promo.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, 30-minute infomercial on Girls Gone Wild. I was like, that's when I learned.
Yeah.
Boy.
Or the staticky. This is 90 Babies thing. The Channel 1. You remember that?
I don't remember Channel 1.
You don't remember,
I thought that was for video
1?
games.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Or Channel 3.
It was Channel 1.
I don't remember.
It was like
Channel
kind of
1.
like a porn channel.
Whoa.
Like, as a kid. Like you had to have like move the satellite, Yeah, it was some.
That's funny. Yeah, Girls Gone Wild. What else? There was another one. Howard Stern was kind of good every once in a while.
He was kind of like, he was almost like the most sexual like thing out there.
Yeah.
At the time. He would have girls on there like topless type of thing.
Yeah.
Or like how many hot dogs can you fit in your mouth?
Or like I remember one time he had like the scratch and sniff panties, and this little pervert, he's like, why don't you come on over and let me just scratch and sniff? And the girls would literally walk over and he'd be like scratch and sniff their panties, and he'd be like, strawberries. And I'd be like, oh, go get them, Howard. And that's when I knew I wanted to do radio.
Oh my gosh.
This is for me. And then you have the remote real close because your parents can see the light. So if you hear someone turn on the light, turn off the TV right away.
Not even that. You always have like the go back button ready to go back to Nickelodeon.
I'm just watching ESPN, Dad.
Bro, a funny story. My homie's not gonna hear this, so I'll never forget. It's one of the funniest stories I have in this. So I'm gonna go through it so quick. He said he put like porn on or something one time. It was like a DVD. I don't know. But when you open his door, the first thing you see in his room is the TV. And then as you open it more, then you can see like where his bed's at, like where like the rest of the room. He said he'll I guess it's like he was doing his thing, right? His pants are down.
Oh yeah.
And he has a DVD on the screen, and he hears his dad walking down the hallway.
Okay.
And he just remembers like trying to pick his pants up. He knows his door's unlocked. He's trying to pick his pants up but he's also trying to grab the remote at the same time.
Oh no.
He didn't know. And then all he sees is this. The door's open. The door cracks open, and the dad can clearly see what's on the TV. And he said he just slowly sees the door closing back.
Bro, just imagine. He's just like, oh boy.
All right, son. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
No, and then the other part of that too is like the funniest thing maybe about it. It's like we always think that we're fooling our parents, and as a kid, bro, they know.
Yeah, they know, bro. My little nephew's taking long ass showers now, bro. He's in the 8th grade. I know what the fuck's going on in there. Come on, kid. I tell him, I'm like, bro, get out of the shower, kid. Like
we're running out of hot water.
Stop acting like you're just listening to music in there, kid. Yeah.
That's a whole different topic in itself. I remember the first time in the shower. Oh, showers are great.
Yeah.
Showers are great. I was like, oh, that's your 4th shower today, boy. What are you doing? Well, hey, I was dirty.
Stayed outside. No, you didn't.
You just took a nap before you shower and after you shower. Oh, man, that's funny. But I'm glad the sex scenes are down. I don't think that there's really any point, unless it's like a movie that is R-rated for adults, like 50 Shades of Grey. You know what you're going for, you know? But why put it in the middle of a movie that's for kids that they might be watching with their parents, an action flick, a comedy, something like that? Like, leave those out. Don't spare the awkwardness. I was glad to see that.
Yeah, you know what? I never thought of it that way too.
What's
has
the
always
point?
Been awkward.
What's the point? There's no like, ooh, that movie was good because of that sex scene.
I don't really mind it if, you know, like say like Ocean's 11 or like those type of movies where like they're in a strip club and it's part of that. You know, like
exactly
Wolf of Wall Street. Like those, you know, it adds substance to the storyline of like, oh, this is what you guys were really doing when you guys were living, you know, the life.
Yeah. Okay, it took us a while to get here, but let's get to our shut the fuck up of the week. I have one that literally happens every year. This year, it just so happened to land on Saturday. Here's my shut the fuck up of the week. You may have seen this on your Instagram, on your socials, Eric, but the people who wake up on May 4th and put "May the 4th be with you," and they're not actually like Star Wars fans. And I see this a lot with girls that wanted to be like, they put it, and then I know that they're fishing for compliments as far as like, oh my gosh, because it's totally out of brand and out of character. And they're like, oh, I didn't know you were Star Wars fans. And you know what their response is? They always say, I know, I'm such a nerd. Nobody knows that. But I'm like, I'm really such a nerd. Shut the fuck up. You are not into Star Wars. You're not into Star Trek. You have not seen a single one of those movies. So quit pretending to be cute and be like, may the 4th be with you. Shut the fuck up. You've never seen any of that shit. And quit trying to be cute because you're not a nerd. You're not a dork. I saw what you were doing at I Meet By the other night. So stop it.
Oh my gosh. Jeez.
How does that make you feel, Eric?
Christ. It makes me feel good, actually. No one ever paid me for. I mean, yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, I feel that way. On another level,
it's been going on for years.
On another level with that, it's just as annoying to me is the girl with a Niners jersey and hat and the full fit, and then wears it or all the Dodger stuff. Because there's some real football fangirls and real baseball fangirls, and when you're wearing it, and then like I really think you know the game, you're like, oh, I just really like Tom Brady, or Travis Kelce. I'm like, all right, like don't,
shut the fuck up.
Like never mind. I wanted to talk some football with you, and then there are really girls where they're like, oh yeah, the quarterback when he steps back, and I'm like, whoa, you know more than I do, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's not my thing.
Yeah, just the whole fakery of it.
Yeah.
So, you notice that something, I don't know if you notice this, so many things that we talk about that we just kind of bash on or whatever is all inauthentic stuff.
Yeah.
It always comes back to like, I don't, like there's people who are into these things. There's people who are that. We're calling out the fakes. Yeah. And I kind of love that.
Yeah.
Because this goes back to whatever what you always say about like, be you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying nobody say may the 4th be with you, because there are people who are really like into that stuff and really love it, seen all the movies. I love that. My thing is the girls who are, or the people who are not into it, who just want a response on Instagram so they could say, I'm such a nerd. Like I'm into this stuff. Oh, really? let's do a little trivia. Let's see how many of these questions you get. Yeah.
Yeah. What order of the Star Wars do you watch it in? You know.
Yeah. Rank them in order.
Yeah.
So that's our shut the fuck up of the week. Got a couple things to hit on before we get to our trivia question. So we hit on that. What do you make of this Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef? This has been dominating the news cycle all week, and it's an interesting thing because it kind of, and I'm sure there's some deep-rooted stuff that I'm not up to date on, but this thing blew up crazy. Who do you think won, Drake or Kendrick, or who's in the lead? Is it not over?
It's more of a lead thing because I don't think you can. I think 2-2-2. By the way, I don't think you can put a winner on this yet. If anyone's been following it, the Drake came hard. No, it was Kendrick started the big three thing.
Well, didn't it start with the whole like Metro Boomin,
the
big
whole,
three, the
like,
diss track, or it wasn't an album?
I don't know where it all originates from. I'm being honest. I just been enjoying.
We should have had Donnie on this podcast.
Yeah,
Donnie would have been great.
Knows. So you have Kendrick who started the big three. I'm Big Me, whatever it was, and then J. Cole was involved in that. So was Drake, Metro Boomin. Rick Ross kind of jumped in it just as a sideshow. Like being, with the theatrics. And then it seemed like the industry started going against Drake. It's weird. Out of nowhere, if you ask me.
So just to put to emphasize that point, some of the things that I have been seeing on podcasts and on YouTube is that Kendrick is saying a lot of the things that the industry feels.
Yeah.
Because they don't really like Drake. So when someone finally speaks up and says, blah, 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 everyone's like, thank you, Kendrick, because fuck this guy. We don't like this guy. So that's where it kind of feels kind of shitty. And I don't know if Drake could outright win when it's almost like someone holding a mirror up to you and being like, hey, by the way, you think you're hot shit, but let me just tell you, like, we're all talking shit about you. Like, nobody really likes you.
It's almost like the high school kid that thinks he's cool, and then you see them out acting, living like this different life. You're like, bro, we all know who you are. No one really you might have them fooled, but no one on this side really.
We see. Yeah, exactly. Like you have
all the masses, money. You think you're cool. You could have some bling, all the nice clothes. Like honestly, bro, we still all feel the same way about it.
Yeah, and that's kind of a shitty thing. You can't I don't know if you can really win after that. It's almost like Kendrick is the hero for speaking up on these things. And then but I will say the Drake move, if it's true that he made up the thing about the 12-year-old
killer. That
dad,
was dope.
This is Drake playing chess while Kendrick is playing checkers. I mean, you win, dad.
So I'll say this. I'm going to play it because I told you I want to play it because you haven't heard the full one. But they've been going back and forth. Kendrick came out with Meet the Grams, and that was the whole letters and notes pretty much to Adonis. And then from what he thought or got information on was an 11-year-old daughter that Drake supposedly had hidden from the world like he had Adonis.
Yeah.
And then after he dropped that, I think people started letting Kendrick know, hey, bro, I think you got played, right? So then right away, Kendrick came out with something else to kind of just be like, okay, I might have been wrong on that, but I still got some more heat. Then he dropped Not Like Us, which I'm going to play right now. Not Like Us, if you ask me, is a banger. It actually, this came out today. Kendrick Lamar has a top 2 songs on Apple Music right now. And they're both the disses. It's Not Like Us and Meet the Grams, right? So, and Euphoria is on that one. But Drake came out with pretty much the facts. He's like, you keep saying lies, I'm saying facts, so address that. And he told everybody, we plotted this, and you took the bait.
Yeah, exactly.
We made up a fake daughter, and you still made a diss track on it, and we knew it was never true, so we're laughing at you, bro.
That's crazy.
And then in that same song, Drake said, so you try to come up with something else in another, this diss I'm going to show you. He came out that real quick saying, like, that was trying to save it, but you couldn't, bro. So a lot of people are saying Drake didn't win because he kind of stepped out after this last diss track he made today or yesterday. So we'll see what happens. I have Kendrick winning only because I feel like he's if you're notching like win after song after song after song, I feel like Kendrick dropped more and he came with more heat, even like as a lyricist, you know.
Yep.
So here we go, people. You ready?
How long is this song?
I'll tell you right now.
Some of these have been dropping long.
Oh, I know. I know. No, it's not as long as the 7-minute ones or anything like that. This one is 4 minutes, 4:30.
Yeah, play a little snippet of it because
Okay, here we go.
we're running late on time.
Where are we at right there?
116.
Jeez.
Trying to see Compton. The industry can hate me. Fuck them all and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body. I'm John Stockton.
Is this the one where he says the E minor?
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman. I'm the one that up to school with him. Walking down whole time. I know he got some hoe in him. Pull on him. Extort shit. Bully the flow on him. Say Drake. I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. Tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs and party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baca got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. That fuck him up. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably a minor.
Oh, bro, that's to me where
Killed
I
it.
think it was like it was a rap. Okay. I think that. I mean, and he just goes on. I mean,
and it doesn't stop, bro. Like it just doesn't stop. So that was about a minute in, and you asked me if you drop some heat like that, where I could take it to the gym and be messing with it on repeat till the end of my workout. I'm good, bro. You won.
yeah, no doubt. Actually, I wasn't gonna go for a run tonight because I wasn't sure what time we were gonna finish. I might go for.
Oh yeah, it'll motivate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, that whole beef has been taken off. And it's interesting that the whole chess versus checkers, and then whether he took the bait or whatever, he's still like, even with that, it's just like
He's gonna come. I think he's gonna come out with something. I think he's gonna come out with something by Friday.
Who?
Kendrick. He's not coming out with something, bro. Kendrick is taking this as a true rap battle beef. Because everyone remember when J. Cole pulled out, they're like, oh, like, we can't respect that, J. Cole. You really pulled out a real beef. But at the same time, you really look at it, J. Cole made the smartest move. You see all those memes and reels where like J. Cole's at home like this?
Oh, yeah, they said
So happy.
They said they were talking about like the real winner in this whole thing.
Yeah.
J. Cole for removing himself like from this whole thing. It's like this shit got weird and got ugly. Have you ever had a season pass for like Six Flags?
Yeah, bro. I've had it for like the last 6 years. I've been like 3 times. They
Are you
still put out
serious?
my account. Yeah.
That's funny.
They were supposed to give me a 2-year credit after COVID because they were charging me all of COVID, bro. And didn't see crap.
I think some of those could be worth it depending on what you get and how often
Hurricane
you go.
Harbor. I want to start going. Actually, we could go. I never thought I'd use it until I started going to LA so much, bro.
Yeah.
I can use it literally once a week now if I really want to.
That's crazy.
And I
See,
might.
that would be so worth it right there.
Yeah, you only got to go 3 or 4 times for it to be worth it.
I think it's only like twice because I think the normal tickets are so expensive that the season pass is only like a few bucks more, and then so they just want you to spend that money because really they don't make the money on tickets. They make the money on you buying a churro for $18.
Yeah, 30,
that shit pisses
30
me
free,
off.
Yeah, $35 freaking dollars.
You know, like just come on in, we'll get you here. Like the whole like tickets is more of a bonus.
You can bring your own food in there, I think, right? Is it
I
like
don't think
Disneyland?
so. I don't think so.
You can at Six Flags? Right?
Maybe some of them.
Bro, do you ever remember? Did you go to theme parks or anything as a kid with your parents?
Yeah.
Do you remember just the bologna sandwich with cheese and mustard mayonnaise?
On the way up.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the struggle. Well, I bring that up because the latest is not a theme park. The latest is Chuck E. Cheese introducing their season pass. I'm not joking this. And then the way that they do it, you know how like if you get Six Flags, they have like tiers where it's like, you know about tiers right now. They have the bronze pass, the silver pass, and the gold pass.
Yeah.
And they all have more exclusive and more tickets and more tokens and more discounts and all these and that.
Yeah.
So that you get unlimited visits for all of them. You get for the bronze, you get 40 games. Silver pass, you get 100 games, and gold is 250 games, which I'm assuming probably covers every single game that's in there. With the gold pass, you get 50% off. You get 50% off of other games.
Do you get free pizza?
So you get 50% off of like food and drinks.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is pretty. I think it's somewhat decent. So it cost $152 for the gold pass, $81 for the silver pass, and $45 for the bronze pass.
What do you get for the bronze pass?
The bronze pass, you get 40 games. You get 20% off of food and drinks, 20% off of extra games. You get the little playing card, and surprise bonus gifts, whatever that means.
So, but this is $40 a month or for the year?
For the year. So I think it's pretty decent.
But you get to use that once a month though?
No, you get to use it every time you go.
So I go every day and have 40 games to play.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why the season
worth
pass.
It. Okay,
yeah.
then
I think it's worth it.
Oh, then I would get the gold. What's at the highest level one?
The gold pass is 250 games, which I'm assuming again is every game that's pretty much in the store. You get 50% off food and drinks. You get 50% off extra games, and you get the bonus gifts. You get the players card like it's a casino. Like the
you
kids
get a drink.
Yeah, you get a little whiskey in you. And then they're all valid at.
And
all
that's the highest
locations.
one. That's the highest one.
That's the highest.
We might
one.
have to
That's
go get that.
$152.
That might be my gift to the I Love You Say It Back team.
That's more expensive than like the season pass for like Six Flags.
Yeah, these are like $12 a month.
Yeah.
But you know why I wouldn't do it? I'm gonna be honest, and I think a lot of '90s babies could connect with this. The Chuck E. Cheese mascot was cool when we were kids. That motherfucker is cracked out now. I'm at.
Yeah, bro.
The whole squad is. They're like the.
They've lost their touch.
Bro, what the hell is that? Why did you make him so skinny?
Yeah, he is absolutely correct. And it goes further than that because all the locations now, Chuck E. Cheese, we're in Bakersfield, California.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the last time I set foot in that place, and I can't tell you because it was for a birthday party for one of my cousins, and that place is filthy, disgusting. I think they've remodeled since and done a couple upgrades, but I'm telling you, it was like 10, 15 years of it being crappy.
Yeah.
And they just barely did some upgrades like recently in the last like year or two. But Chuck E. Cheese has been shit. And if you wonder why, like, I'm scared to dive into the ball pit. Fucking needles, and I'd be scared.
Oh, my
Not.
God. Yeah,
hell
you'll find
no.
freaking Chuck E. Cheese's actual freaking meth pipe.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, this must be Chucky's.
No, do you ever remember going and you peek behind the curtain before? Did you ever?
I was scared, bro.
Really? We would always do it,
I was
bro.
scared, yeah.
It was kind of scary because they're all like this.
Yeah,
Like
they were.
frozen, bro. It was crazy. But actually, you know what? I heard I can't remember what it tastes like. I heard their pizza is really, really good, though.
The pizza is good.
Wait,
Solid.
we should. Oh, man. I actually
Chuck
want
E.
some of
Cheese trip.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese trip for sure. Quick memory on Chuck E. Cheese is the first girl I ever had a crush on in my life in kindergarten. My only realest, truest memory there is I remember I left Orangewood Elementary. We're climbing in the tubes and stuff.
Yeah.
We're going across from each other, bro, in the tube. It was my first time seeing her again since kindergarten, first grade going to second grade. And I remember like life and time stopped and I was like, oh man, this girl's the most beautiful girl in the world. I actually ended up dating her in sophomore year, but then she wanted.
Oh, dude, I thought this was gonna end with like we ran into each other in the middle of the tube and I just went in for a kiss.
No, bro, we were like fourth graders. Like it wasn't like I was like,
bro,
hey, take my number.
I gotta bring in a buddy of mine who told me some crazy like he kissed a girl like in the first grade and he like it was the most innocent thing in the world. Like it was like a little kid like not being aware of what's going on. He like went up to her, he like took his pants down to show her.
No, he didn't.
Bro, but the way he describes the story, and then he told the girl, like he pulled his pants down, and he told the girl, and he's like, and then he told her, he's like in Spanish, he's like, "Quítate los calzones."
What the? Tell me what this is when we get off here.
I will.
No way.
I will.
That's funny,
bro. I can't. But it was just like if it was like maybe 6th grade, 7th grade, you kind of be like, all right, you gotta chill.
Yeah.
But I think in first grade or kindergarten, I think he was like in kindergarten. It was almost like this innocence where it's like you don't realize what you're really doing. You just kind of you're just riding the
he
wave.
Probably seen it on a movie and is like, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that shit was funny.
Wow.
But yeah. So only because it was promised, we're gonna get to this. We're running out of time here. But
okay.
Men ain't shit. Latest segment. You thought Mercury retrograde was bad. There's a new thing called Pluto retrograde. Have you heard of this?
No.
Yep, I bet you haven't because I hadn't either until I saw this. So apparently it's affecting a lot of things. And I wanted to read ours because you and I have the same, what is it called? Status symbol or
Moon.
we're
Like, yeah.
both Virgos.
Yeah.
Right? I'm actually the last day of Virgo.
Really?
Yeah, September 22nd.
Yeah. Same with my friend.
Jake, what's yours? What are you?
Cancer.
He's a Cancer. I'm gonna read yours, okay? Because they're short here. So according to this is what your Pluto retrograde means. According to Stardust, Cancer signs are, quote, going to feel more intuitive in the months ahead, noting that their premonitions could lead to significant emotional advances as well as the ability of foresight. Stardust suggests you use this time to, quote, learn and trust your innermost feelings. So there you go.
Wow.
And Eric, this one applies to you and I.
Okay.
Are the vibes off at your workplace, Virgo? Stardust suggests that you use this pivotal time to stand your ground and, quote, confront those who are aiming to compete with you professionally. Stardust asks, who the hell is Stardust, by the way?
Yeah.
Adds that you work with others and lean into being more trusting and transparent. And I will say, I've been told in the past, and I don't know how true this is how dumb we are. They say that because I'm on the last day of Virgo, that some of the Libra also applies. So I'm going to read that one real quick. Lean on others to find the creative spark, Libra. Instead of looking inward, Stardust suggests that you look outwards for motivation, including finding a muse that inspires you and evokes your passion. So a lot of, we're coming in here and there's a lot of creative stuff you guys are working on, the logo, getting all that stuff. I thought it was interesting to bring that up. So if things are feeling off at the workplace, that could be something. If things are feeling, it's more of like lean. I mean, go through these. All of them could apply to something different, but I just thought it was interesting. You thought your troubles ended at Mercury retrograde. Girls hate Mercury. When it's Mercury retrograde, all bets are off. Everything you could be blamed on Mercury. It's fucking Mercury
Girls start
retrograde.
breaking up with their men and everything. They're like, no, Mercury retrograde told me I have to reset, and that to me means leaving you. What the hell was that?
Ass. Yeah. I think I've gotten left on like a Mercury retrograde, which, by the way, the number one thing, and I do know this, the number one thing, ladies, that is told to you during this retrograde area or timing, don't make any big significant life. Don't quit your job. Don't end your relationship. Don't get engaged. Don't go find a new career. They say avoid those things because emotional balance is off in this
I was just gonna say
universe.
that. Yeah.
Things are off, so you might be overwhelming with certain things. Don't make any irrational, life-changing decisions. We'll leave that there. So it does not end at Mercury retrograde. Now we got Pluto, the furthest. Is it even still considered a planet? Poor thing.
I don't know. I think it's that one in Uranus.
Yeah, that. Well, that one is definitely big enough to be considered a planet. I'm talking about the planets. All right, you ready to get into our trivia?
Diddy. Yeah, got you.
All right. Trivia brought to you by Rev Nutrition. Go check them out. Homies, love, define, fat burners, pre-workouts, everything you need to get fitness. You want to burn some fat. You want to feel good about yourself. You want to bring some new energy. You want to... they have literally everything. I've seen everything to get glowing skin, to protein, to aminos, to whatever your fitness goals are. You can find it. Rev Nutrition. Go check them out anywhere in Bakersfield. Also, what was I thinking of the wrong word? Invest in your sleep. Go check out the mattress space, Buck Owens Boulevard. My homie C's will take care of you. So here we go. We got to go through this one quickly. So here we go. Jake, you can be in it also. 40% of Americans admit that they've lied to a friend to avoid this. 40% of Americans admit that they've lied to a friend to avoid this. What is it?
40% of friends have lied to avoid this. It's kind of a weird question, right? They've lied,
So basically,
right? Because it's like, wait,
hey,
what do they
Eric, are
try
you
to-
free? Can you help me with this?
Oh,
And
okay,
they've lied,
okay.
which I just gave you way too big of a hint.
No,
but go
no,
ahead.
because the way it was worded almost seems like they've avoided this. Because I want to say the word argument, the way you put it. You know?
No.
You know, you what I'm saying? Like they try to avoid
Oh,
this.
okay.
An
I see what you're
argument or
saying.
a
I see what
fight.
you're saying. Okay.
So
go for it.
Okay, 40% of people. Huh?
Moving is the correct answer.
Oh, really? Moving.
That's how I
Wow.
knew it was too easy of a hint.
I didn't get that, by the way, y'all. It was Jake. He's in the.
That
he's
was
in the room.
Jake is in there. Been working on a new logo for
Some stuff.
for literally since I walked in here. But yes, 40% of Americans admit they've lied to a friend to avoid helping them move. Moving, I will say, normally like help your friends do that. Moving does suck.
It's the worst thing. Ever.
Moving does suck.
Yeah. Did you move a lot as a kid or growing up?
Not growing up, but I have moved like quite a bit. Like
As an adult?
as I grew older, like yeah, and it's no fun. It's no fun.
Yeah. we grew up moving a lot, but I'll tell you, it feels really good knowing you don't need help. When I moved into my house, everyone helped move to my house because I had fractured my back that year, and so like I'm wearing like this whole body chest plate, and my brother Eric's not helping full. Like I broke my back, bro. Like this help for the first time in your life.
Yeah.
So it was good though. I liked it.
That's gonna wrap it up for our show. I have an hour 33 left on my bus sprout. This is an hour 32.
Okay,
so
let's
thank
get
y'all. Thank y'all for checking in. Be on the lookout for those MMA fights. Thank you for listening. Que sueñen con los queridos. I love you. Say it back. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.